Welcome back to Markets Today. We are having a one-on-one with Mr. Patrick Carrera, who is the founder of Nicodigi. Nicodigi is a platform that offers SACCOs an opportunity just to be able to use this particular platform and enhance their operational efficiencies, but more importantly, it does facilitate payments in this sector. Nicodigi already has 1,000 SACCOs on its particular platform and growing. If you are just joining us, earlier on, we were discussing with Mr. Carrera what the onset of his business has looked like and what COVID-19 has meant for the sector. And it turns out that it's possibly been, a blessing in disguise, or if you like, a silver lining, because they've been able to get more people to get onto this particular platform just as a means of business continuity. Now we want to understand what next for this sector. It's a sector where the government has been trying to digitize for a very long while now without too much success. Now we want to understand, Mr. Carrera, has the opportunity set come forth at this point in time? In other words, the stakeholders who have been averse to a digitization step when it comes to national transport, are they listening? Are they more open? Could we see an era where the transport system and the payment system in the transport sector could be overhauled in another 1 or 2 years? Over to you, Mr. Carrera.
Thanks a lot. So how I look at it, definitely, you see, digitization is going to happen, and I don't think anyone can stand in the way of digitization. For it to happen very fast, it is important that people look at, or even the government look at, the sector that they are digitizing, so that you understand the sector, then you start digitizing. Maybe one of the biggest challenges that the transport industry has faced around digitization, especially around cashless. There's a time it was tried in 2013, 2014. One of the things that was not looked into is how it was going to be used in the market. You will find that many companies came in. Every company, the model, they decided to come up with a gadget for fair payment. So now it was very hard for the public because the public had different cards. So card A from this bank, this other bank had so all these cards, and these cards were not interoperable. So for it to work, even the conductor needed to have like 10 gadgets, probably a bag carrying those gadgets so that he can strike those cards. So that was not going to work, and that is what some of the factors that were not looked into. So when I look at how it was implemented, the stakeholders were really not involved in development of the platform. So what we have done this time, we have made sure that we looked at all the stakeholders in the transport industry. We have also looked at the market and looked at the easiest way to get into the market. So right now, for example, we have not taken any control of the cash that is being paid in by the passengers from the conductor or the driver. They will still have that cash at the end of the day. Previously, how it was implemented, they will not have gotten that cash. And sometimes maybe the people who are implementing don't remember that the people who are supposed to implement these cashless payments is the drivers and conductors. Exactly. It is not even the SACCOs, it's the drivers and conductors. So if we make a tool that ignores them, then we just tell people that without cash you cannot board this vehicle. So we have made sure we have looked at that. We have looked at a tool that is acceptable to them. We have made sure we have looked at a tool that is easy to use by the public. So that is why you will find that M-Pesa is one of our biggest payment channels, because everyone is on M-Pesa right now. So how we have done our platform as we start, people are able to pay directly from their M-Pesa wallet, and it goes to our digital platform for the conductors and the drivers to access. As we move on, we are going to introduce more convenient channels for the drivers and the conductors. We are also going to introduce now those gadgets in the vehicles, but they are going to be interoperable gadgets, and we are going to train them and make sure the drivers, the conductors, the owners, and the SACCOs are actually the ones who are spearheading the push of the platform. We just make sure we have a good technology that serves them.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much for that, Mr. Carrera. I like the way that you bring it and saying you can't afford to ignore the end user, which is one of the key deterrents in terms of IT projects falling face flat at the onset of execution. Now, I want us to get to the tail end of this conversation. And when we are looking at sectors in Kenya, the transport sector has been hard hit, at least at some point. It's now beginning to recoup the losses, largely because of the restrictions in movement. Do you see an opportunity set? Are you optimistic about your business model as well as interactions in the coming year?
Yes, thanks a lot. We are very optimistic about what is happening in the transport industry. This is because so far what we have done, it's actually the conductors and the drivers that are pushing for the platform to be implemented. Also, right now the market is very tech savvy. So you find that when you build a certain technology, whether it's app-based or USSD based, you really don't have a very long learning curve to teach the public and the user, probably the conductors and the drivers how to use it, because those are things they interact with every other single time. So what we are looking at is we are looking at a market that is going to adopt the tool. We are also making sure that we have solutions even for the conductors and the drivers that they can be able to patronage the system. Well, for example, how we are looking at growing it in the future, with we have actually noted that the monies that are being paid into our platform, the drivers are not even withdrawing, and we are asking them, why are you guys not getting this money out? And they are telling us that they are using that platform to save. Wow. So we are finding a lot of opportunities that we can be able to tweak the product and make sure it fits into their daily lifestyle. With that happening, we are optimistic that we are going to capture the market. Also, we are going to work with the SACCOs so that they can help implementation and also help them to give them other tools that also make their operations much easier. So it's a very good opportunity, and we don't see it stopping anytime soon. It's going to be better. Yes.
There's something powerful you have said, Mr. Carrera, that the people on your platform are using it as a savings platform. I think that's extremely powerful. So based on that particular data set, then, are you integrating back into the financial services system? And I ask this because your background is in finance and technology. Just to understand, is there a way then you are linking this particular funds to either investment opportunities or to financial services in Kenya today? Over to you, Mr. Carrera.
Thanks a lot. So for that, because it's something we have observed, we already have tools. We already have plans to integrate them to the larger financial system. Okay. Because it actually came as a surprise to us that these guys are saving there. So one of the things that we are doing is, you see these transport circles, some of them allow their members to save into them. So we are going to facilitate for the members who wants to save can be able to do that. We also have a model circle ourselves as Digitisation. It's called Helmet Circle, where we are encouraging drivers who are not in other circles, they can be able to join us and save. Also, Matatu workers have a circle that is called Matatu Welfare Association, and we are looking at partnering with them so that we can encourage transport workers across the world to start a savings culture, because that has not been there. You can imagine these guys, they belong to circles that they are not allowed to save into. Most of these transport circles, only the owners of vehicles save. So you will find that a driver and a conductor, they work in that circle and they are not allowed to save. So with these opportunities, we are going to have synergies and bring in more partners so that we exploit that 100% and actually create values for the transport workers.
Okay, yes. Thank you for that again. Quite a very powerful impact. It does sound like there's a social transformative impact that your platform is bringing on board. Now, if people want to be part of this platform, how do they find you, and who would be your ideal buyers, so to speak, of this platform? If I am a matatu driver today, Mr. Carrera, should I then reach out to you, find out where to download your app, or is it better for people to come through their circle that then integrates into your platform? What's a good way of looking at it, Mr. Carrera?
Thanks a lot for that. So for the people to be able to approach us, right now, how we have, first of all, set up the business. We have started in Nairobi because it's easier to scale from Nairobi than as we move to the other areas. People can reach us. Drivers who are interested, they can log into our website, nicodigi.co.ke. So once a driver or a matatu owner or a circle logs in there, they can be able to self-register and start using, and then our team is going to contact them and train them on how to self-register into the platform. Also, so that we can be more effective. What we are doing right now, we are targeting routes that we recruit and make sure we are finalized. So we are very active in the Ngong Town route, Kawangware route. So those routes actually, I think we are known, and all the drivers that are applying through that route can be able to contact it. Can be able to contact us, and we implement for them.
Okay.
So that is how we are doing.
All right. Mr. Carrera, we've come to the tail end of all the time that we had today. Perhaps you can finish us off with the parting shot. And certainly, we're very excited to have had this one-on-one because what you're doing is quite transformational, and we wish you and the Nico Digi team all the best. Please leave us with a parting shot when it comes to technology, building a business, and the transport sector today.
Thanks a lot, first of all, for having me. It's a pleasure being in your station. One of the things that I will say is that I will urge people in the transport industry to embrace digitization, because the transport and the circle industry to embrace digitization, because digitization is the way to go. I don't see in the next 10 years, or even, I think 10 years is too far, even 5 years, I don't see an institution that is going to survive without actually implementing technology as part of their core operations. So it's important organizations to look at technology and implement it, more so for the sectors we are dealing with, the transport and the circle industry. Also, another parting shot I'd like to say, it's important that the government and the people who are dealing with public transport services to be able to be on the ground and understand what is happening before they make decisions or bring tools to be able to be used in the market. Actually, when they go onto the ground, it will be easy to figure out what people want, and it will not be such a challenge. So that is very important, and that's my passion.
Okay, thank you so much. That was Mr. Patrick Carrera, who is the founder of Nico Digi, a platform that has connected over 1,000 circles in Kenya today, enhancing their operations. I think the most transformative thing we've heard from Mr. Carrera is the fact that they have been focusing on the end user, the matatu conductors, the matatu drivers, and on their platform, they've been able to actually change the narrative when it comes to financial well-being by being able to change the behavior. And the people on this platform are now saving, something that they didn't have an opportunity to do before. Thank you, Mr. Carrera, for your time. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your audience as well. And we look forward to seeing you again, same time tomorrow. Good afternoon.